This episode contains sensitive topics, including discussions about suicide and miscarriage. These subjects can be emotionally challenging and may trigger strong emotions or memories for some viewers. If you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of suicide, please seek immediate help from a mental health professional or contact a helpline in your country. Remember, you are not alone, and there are resources available to provide support. Some are in the show notes and description of this episode. Additionally, if you have experienced a miscarriage or know someone who has, please be aware that this episode may bring up difficult emotions. It's important to prioritize self-care and reach out to appropriate support networks such as healthcare professionals, support groups, or organizations specializing in pregnancy loss. Take care of yourself and consider your emotional well-being while listening to this episode. If you feel overwhelmed, it's okay to take a break or seek support from trusted individuals in your life. Imagine waking up every morning with a sense of dread, knowing that that day ahead is filled with endless tasks, meetings, and deadlines. The weight of overwhelm hangs heavy on your shoulders, making it difficult to find joy and fulfillment in your work and personal life. The successful entrepreneur had it all: a thriving business, a loving family, and seemingly perfect life. But behind closed doors, she was struggling with overwhelm. The constant juggling act of managing her business and personal responsibilities was taking a toll on her mental and physical health. Her story is a powerful reminder that overwhelm can affect anyone, regardless of our outward success. How can we learn from her experience and find ways to prevent overwhelm and consuming our own lives? Welcome to Empowering Time Markers, the podcast where we share inspiring stories, empower listeners with business tips, and create connections. I'm your host, Tia Bottom, and I'm thrilled to have you join us on this journey of growth and empowerment. Our guest today, a best-selling author who ran 2 successful bakeries, that studies business, team building, and sales. One day, her father's friend sat her down at 8 years old and told her that she was meant for more. Then, you know what? She believed it, and she believed that she had a purpose, which led to her moving to the city, getting married, and starting a business with her husband. Please welcome MarieTemby. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Tia. I'm really great. I'm honored and happy to be here with you today.
Thank you so much. I know that you are in Australia, which we're going to get into more personal stuff in a bit, but I just want to point that out so people can be like, I love her accent, right? Tell me your amazing story.
Okay, my story goes back to when I first started my business 28 years ago, prior to having the family, my husband and I, going into our first bakery business together. And it was all exciting at the time, and we put a lot of funds and needed a lot of family support to actually to go into it in the first place. It took a lot of our time and effort at the time, and we both went full steam, as we do in anything that we do together. And pretty quickly our business started to pick up. It was improving, and we got busier, and there was more things to do. And I was feeling this great feeling of having this successful business, and
Can I pause
looking.
you for a second?
Yes.
Why bakery? What was it about a bakery? Have you always been like into baking?
Okay, so the bakery was not something that either of us were into, to be honest. My husband was a financial advisor, and I was actually working as an accountant at St. John Ambulance. So we were not into baking at all. But as it so happened, we were at our having an engagement party, and 2 of our friends who come had joined this franchise. And they said to us that it was new, it was reasonably new, to been around in another state, but it was reasonably new in our state. And they said they're looking for young couples to jump on board. And so pretty much our engagement was a Saturday night. And on the Monday morning, my husband was in talking about it, and we were signed up in no time.
That's amazing. I would not I would never I was like, "Hold on, how did you get into the baking?" Okay. So,
Yeah.
thankfully, your husband was in finance. So then he was already in the mindset of that, and you guys just dove in and it started blowing up and you were
Yeah.
successful. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we did dive in, and at the age of 14, I worked at KFC. So customer service was also something that I was into, and I love people. So it was we dove into the bakery pretty quickly, and the overwhelm started coming in. It was like there was paperwork that was needed, there was home life that was needed, and we were getting married 10 months after we had bought the business, and we had a wedding and we had an overseas holiday planned, and it was just a little bit adding a little bit more pressure, a little bit more pressure, and I could feel this pressure cooker building up inside me, but other people didn't see it. Like from the outside, we looked like we fully had control. We had this bakery that was doing really well. We had stuff that made us go on our honeymoon. The store did well. We had a wonderful wedding. We had children. We were having, then we bought our second business. We had our first child,
Mhm.
then we a second business, and I was pregnant again, and I actually lost a child at the same time as signing the contract for our second business. So that was a high and a low at exactly the same time. And so that was also helped build up our overwhelm. And then I got pregnant again. We had a beautiful baby boy.
It's a lot of heavy stuff all at the same time. And
Yeah.
even when we're running a business, the overwhelm of you've got employees that depend on you. You have all these people that you can't just break down. And then in
Mhm.
the inside, you just had a tremendous loss. And then feeling like I want to cry right now, just thinking about how much strength it took you to kind of like push that down and move on, like still keep going. I want to hold space for you going through that. I don't know when you got to deal with that, at what point.
I don't know that I ever did deal with that. I didn't really have time to deal with that, and it's something that I've carried with me all of the time myself, because life just had to go on around us because of everything else that was happening. And we had our first child. We had to not lose track and not lose time and attention that he needed. And yes, we had all these staff that we were in charge of, and a new store. And I had to actually find it from the franchise that we were going into, because that I was pregnant, because we were about to take on our second store,
Mhm.
and wouldn't have been ideal to take on your second store and have another child in that. But then as the time got closer and they knew and we were all under control, then to have the trauma of on that day finding out that we had lost our baby was horrific for me. But I had to show up like we do, like many of us. And since that happened to me, there are many women that I come across that have stories that are similar, that have lost children along the way. I didn't want today to be about that, because I have deposited that somewhere, but it was a big part of our life back then. But anyway, we got in, we ran the business. I got pregnant again, and we had our second beautiful boy. We were this family of four, having two bakeries, going on these wonderful holidays together. And we managed to pay our business off very quickly because we worked hard. We worked around the clock. And like I said, that then the school started, then the sport started, and everything was just coming through fast. And I would just go to sleep and bundle up into bed and just think, how did I get through today? I'd wake up and what have I got to do today? Because we're responsible for staff, we're responsible for customers, we had staff's parents like contacting us all the time. And I was still feeling like I was just learning my way. And there was accounts that were due. I had to pay the accounts. I had all the legal requirements that you have to understand having a business. And then the added pressure of things that the franchise needed from you. And so there's definitely a benefit of having a franchise, but then there's also all these requirements they need from you at certain times. So my story kind of goes to the fact that I was driving home one day, and all this overwhelm was just sitting on top of me. And to get to my house, you have to drive over a small bridge. And I was going home and I was sitting in the car and I was thinking, I wonder if I could just detour off into that water. That would alleviate, that would take away all of this overwhelm and it would just all be gone. And it was at that moment that I was on the bridge, and it was a very quick moment that I thought, I can't do that. Like, there's all these people that need me, and that I'm much stronger than that, and that I have a purpose. I was told many years ago I have a purpose, and I'm not about to give up on that. And my family, my boys need me, my husband needs me, my mum and dad need me. So I just shook myself together, held the steering wheel, got home, and I thought, there has to be a better way. There has to be a way to find how I can make this easier. And not only for me at that point, I wanted to make it easier for everybody who was coming up behind me. So I started searching every conference that I could possibly attend and every guest speaker that I could listen to. And I followed online. I followed Tony Robbins and Joe Vitale. I've just followed these people that kept helping me along the way. And each time I kept taking little bits of information of things that would make my journey easier. And I started to do it with my paperwork. I started to automate it, delegate some of it, delete some of it, or defer it. I just made ways of making things easier instead of doing everything. And the things that I deferred, I put in a pile, and I never ever got back to them. They weren't important. So we spend a lot of the time thinking that we have to do everything and be everything. The thing that I did, I said to my husband, we're never going to miss anything that the kids do, so that I didn't have the stress of missing anything they did. We just, if it cost us more money by having staff do it, well, so be it. But that helped me and my family first sort of scenario always ring true. So I started to look for different organizational skills. I bought a business management book, and it's been my Bible for all of those years. When I get a bit stuck, I look through that. And I lived by principles. I had 10 principles, which I decided that was who I am and I'm going to live by them. And that's family first. So everything I did and everything I still do today, family always comes first. So that's my number one principle. My passion. I'm very passionate about whatever my topic is or whatever I'm doing. At the time, it was the bakery. I was very passionate about it. I wanted to follow my passion and I wanted to write the book. So that was my passion. So I followed it. Gratitude. I live with gratitude. I think it was 2018, I decided that I was going to make gratitude a major part of my life. And every day for 365 days, I posted on Facebook something to be grateful for. That year literally changed my life, because we all have things to be grateful for every day, but we just don't always know how to find them, or that we don't know that they're there. By doing this, there were some days where it was easy for me to see what I was grateful for. But then there were some days where I had to dig deep to find something to be grateful for. And those days when I couldn't, I'd go out and make something that I could be grateful for. So our family did lots of fun things that year, because I'd think, okay, what am I going to be grateful for today? What can I? And it wasn't about posting it on Facebook, because I made it quite clear that I did this because I wanted to have gratitude in my life every single day. So I do. I wake up. It is one of my daily rituals now, is to have gratitude. Health every day, try to think about something for my health, whether it's drink more water, have a bit of fruit, go for a walk, whatever it is. I make sure that it's not that I'm perfect in all these areas, but they're life principles that I think about constantly. Continual learning. Continual learning is majorly important for me. I've never stopped learning. You stop growing when you stop learning, and someone's always got something to teach you. When you think you know it all, that's when you stop growing.
I say that all the time. I say that to my children. I say, the moment you think you know everything is the moment you know nothing.
Yeah. Yep. You can't go anywhere. That's it. You have to think that's where you're at. And we're not. We're built to continually learn. So positivity. My God, that's a major thing that I live by. And I had that as a young girl. I got smile lines to actually prove that I just smiled all the time. Even like I said, when things were hard inside, on the outside, positivity was a big part of my life. Rituals, introduced 10 rituals into my day every single day. So I have a list of the 300 plus daily rituals. And every day I make sure that I get through 10. So it doesn't matter what they are. By the time I go to sleep at night, I have to have completed 10 rituals. And they're all things that are good for you. They're just little simple things that if you give yourself 10 of those, that's 10 little things you're giving yourself every single day. So the other one is number 8 is improvement. And I have always lived with that little bit more, little bit more, little bit more every single day. And it's like compounding interest. It accumulates into something big. Honesty and integrity. I have taught my boys that no matter what happened in their life, that to come home and tell us the truth. Honesty will set you free. And that there is nothing that they could say that would upset us. The truth is always the best. So we've lived with honesty, loyalty, and the last one is spirituality. So they're my 10 life principles that I put into place that help me get through all that overwhelm and make me have a little bit of that in my life live by them and really believe them and breathe them in every single day.
Can I just say that your story about the bridge and what got you there, and I love that it was a bridge because this makes sense, right? People come to a head when something is so hard and you have to make a choice of what you're going to do. Are you going to be a victim and just like the way people sometimes talk is, I've lived through such hard things. Why can't you? Like, I've had it harder than you. And they could take that road. You are one of these people, a true gem of a person that took that and said, how can I make the world a better place? Not just for you, but like for everyone around you, everyone that you can reach. And I just want to tell you, like, I love you. I love you so much. I just learning more about you. You're an amazing person. You're an amazing mother. And anyone would be lucky to call you a friend and a business partner. Like, you are a coach, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. I can't even imagine how many people you're going to help in your lifetime. And with your attitude and like your principles and your rituals, like all of that is so amazing. Like, you're an amazing person. I just want to make sure that you hear that from me today.
Tina, you've touched my soul in a way by saying that. Thank you for saying that. It's hard to hear someone give you beautiful feedback like that, but it means so much. It means that you must be doing something right. You must be. And to hear that that you feel that way is amazing, because that is what I want to do. I do want to touch people. I do want to help them. I don't want them to feel that life is too hard. I don't want them to feel the victim that you said, because everyone is a victim in some way. And if you put that in your mind, then that's where you'll remain.
Right. Like, I
You
always
have
talk
to,
about, you're a victim and then you're a survivor and then you become a warrior. You have to make those choices, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to know. Sometimes for some people it's too late, and that's the tragedy of it. But you have to know that there is always something better, and there is always someone who has been where you are, and that you need to source those people out, because those people have the answers, which is what you need, is to find the answers from people that have been in the journey where you are, because they have them. And one of the things I did along the way here is I recorded everything and I call it my treasure chest. And I put it aside every time something worked for me. I put it in the treasure chest to be opened one day. And when I went to write the book, I had so much without even opening the treasure chest. because I had everything that I wanted to say. So I knew that there's something next. And that's where the coaching came in, because now everything that's in my treasure chest is slowly being pulled out. And the things that worked are in there and the things that didn't work are in there. So there's 28 years of a business that has taken place. And there's many people out there that have gone as that far. So they're the people that can help you.
First of all, you're amazingly organized to have the thought of, let me write this down or capture this and keep this in there. Also, I wanted to say a little something about to be feminine. Like, you think of the womb, we accept something and then we create something even better. So when I'm giving you a compliment and reflecting the amazing job that you have done, then that means you can go and build something even better and even more. So I hope that you do accept, right? Because you're receiving it. And that's what feminine is. You're receiving. You're going to create something even better from that. That's how we make babies, right?
Thank you, Tia. See, this is what I mean. There's always something to learn. Someone always has something to teach us. And you just taught me that.
Aw. So now we're going to shift gears a little bit. I have more questions. Tell me what inspired you and the goal for your book, Simple, Soulful, Successful, a Mumpreneur's Journey to Daily Happiness. And is that part of your brand name, and how does that all work out? Tell me all about it.
Okay, so I guess in my story, I said about that, how I had the overwhelm. So I went on this journey to find the answers. So I found the answers along the way, and then I thought I had to share them. So that's where the book came about. When I was writing the book, I was trying to give someone that was in the small business the most information. And we were going through so many names. And with the book company that was publishing, they kept throwing all these names. But one of the first names that I come up with was Simple, Soulful, Successful. And I come up with that with my husband. And I loved it because I felt like I'm a simple person. I don't have this great degree. What I do is I run a successful bakery. I love customers. Everything I did in the bakery was simple. So simple kind of describes me. And soulful, I'm spiritual. I manifest. I meditate. I believe that what you put out there comes back. I believe in karma. All of these things that I used to hide that part of me for many years, because my circle of friends, so I thought, weren't so spiritual. So it was, some people can look at you as a little bit crazy. So,
Yeah.
but the soulful, when you say that stuff, but too much has happened in manifesting for me not to believe it. So that was my soulful, was my spiritual side. And I speak a little bit about that in the book. Success to everybody is different. Success to me is having a family who are happy, who are close by, who would do anything for you. And it's not always financial comes with it. It comes. For me, so successful was my successful bakeries. We had the #1 bakery in South Australia for 27 years, for right up until we left. I was successful. So the brand name, I didn't want to change it because it's who I am. So leading on from that, so that's the brand. We kept it. I stuck with it. Even after so many people trying to tell me to change it, I didn't. Then I was going out coaching. When we sold the bakery, and a couple of years after the book, and I was going out coaching, I was coaching bakeries because that's what I know. That was my niche and my coaching. I'd coached a few other small businesses, but it became evident that bakeries and cafes were the place that I could give the most. It was where I had all this experience. So I was coaching them. And when I would sit down with people, they wanted a bit more of the soulful. We were building their business. They were putting more money in their bank. And so they're making more profit. But quite often the ladies in the group and a couple of the men wanted a bit more of the soulful, which was separate. So I had to build, I thought, people need this. I've got to build that. I started building personal coaching as well. So I was doing my business coaching, and I was separating the personal coaching, because in the businesses, sometimes there's a male and female, but it's only the female that wants the soulful. So I was doing the soulful. So then I was getting myself into this point where a little bit of overwhelm was coming back again.
Mm.
So I was trying to make the most for my clients, and then I was trying to start up this personal coaching, and that's where the Women Connection group came into it. And I feel like that found me. And I thought, why am I building this when it's already there? It's it's already there. So that's where the soulful in my Soulful Successful, I believe, is coming, is joining this polka dot group.
Yeah.
And connections are what we need.
Yeah.
And you can help people through those connections.
For those that are listening that have no idea what Polka Dot is, it's Polka Dot Powerhouse is a women's connection group, and it's international. And you are starting a local group in Australia. And I'm a Polka Dot Powerhouse myself, and I love it. And I feel the same way. It showed up for me when I needed it. And you're a perfect person for this. And I'll put in the show notes links if you want to join. And I'm in the worldwide one. So, yes, continue.
Thank you, Tina. That's
Yeah.
how I met you, was
Yeah.
through the polka dot. Yeah, so I think that's my brand, and that's who I am, and that's stay authentic to who you are. And that's why I will never lose that brand name, because that is me.
I love it.
That's who I resonate with.
I love it. It makes total sense. And I was feeling a lot of things when you were talking about it. I was thinking about mindset. I was thinking about it means so much more, but you simplified it and it's in the name. I love it. I love it. It's so good. And I know that you're helping, like I said before, like you're helping so many people in so many ways. And I do believe in that. I think that you were just the perfect person to bring that out. And I'm glad that you started talking about it. I'm glad that you took the chance to do that because it is needed and it is part of your success. You, like you said, you couldn't have done it without all of the spiritual and being simple and like all of that. Yeah, I commend you on that. It's amazing. Great name.
No, thank you. Thank you.
And where can they
Yeah,
find your
no.
book?
It's on Amazon, but it's also on my website, MarieTemby.com. I've got the book on there.
Also, you decided to make a planner because you were like, none of these planners fit. There are so many things that you and I have in common that you have no idea. I am a huge planner. I plan everything. Tell me a little bit more about your planner. Can you order that on Amazon too or on your website?
You can order that on my website as well, and also on Amazon. I think it gets there a bit quicker if you order on my website, that's all. But I'll tell you about the planner. So the planner was part of this whole journey. I just had pieces of paper here, everything, and I wanted to remember birthdays. I wanted to remember Christmas gift ideas. During the year, you think that would be the perfect gift for someone. And then when it comes closer to the time, you think, what was that gift? I made every single thing that I did was in my planner. Everything that I learnt from other organizational people along the way, things that I got out of my business handbook is in my planner. So I've got my ideal week in my planner, and I've got my 10 rituals as a place to put my 10 rituals in my planner. So I haven't listed off what the 10 are because, as I told you before, there's 300 plus, and I just choose to do 10. Every morning I open the planner and every night I open the planner, and you've got to make sure that you've got those. And there's gratitude in there. You have to have 3 things every day to be gratitude, and watching your weight, which I know not everybody likes to do that, but personally I know a lot of people do. So there's a little thing where you, if you want, you can put your weight so you can see it if it's slowly creeping up and do something about it if you want to do something about it. Alcohol-free days. We all need a few alcohol-free days. We all need an alcohol day, but we all need make sure we have them. So I've got that in there as well. So we keep on track of things.
Who would
got
benefit the most from this?
business owners, particularly people that have a small bricks and mortar business that they've got so much going on in their life. There's not a thing when I was in that busy, overwhelmed stage of running the bakery that I couldn't find in my planner. It's just every time I couldn't find it, I made a space for it in the planner. And I did that until it was ready, and then signed off to be published.
You're amazing. And on top of that, let's keep going with the writing. You have a blog on your website. It's packed with so much education. And there's every tab on your website is a new level of education. You're such an amazing contributor to business knowledge and just people are so lucky to work with you. I imagine you give so much. Like even just on your website, you give so much. So I can imagine like working side by side with you. So do you do one-on-one or group or both?
That's a good question, because I've been doing this for just over a year now, and I'm doing one-on-one. Like I'm seeing my clients one-on-one. I'm about to go to a conference over in Mexico in the end of October. And when I come back, I'm going to move to group coaching because I need to see more people. And there's only so many hours in a day. So I'm going to open up group coaching in a big way. I've done little bits, little groups, but I'm going to go much bigger when I come back. That's the plan.
So random question, because you are in Australia. Now, did you grow up in Australia?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. I grew up in a little small country town in rural New South Wales.
Nice.
And,
What's your favorite food there that when you travel you miss?
Probably chicken schnitzel. So chicken breast, and it's crumbed, breaded. Do you call it breaded?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And does it
Yeah,
have a
so
sauce?
Parmigiana.
Okay. All right.
That's
Good.
tomato and cheese. So that's probably a little bit of a favorite, but I'm simple. So if you ask my family, my boys, they're much more worldly that say seafood dishes and things like that. I'm just my breaded chicken.
Nice.
My favorite food.
My favorite attribute about you is that you actually care about people. You love them at every point in being employed to management. Do you have a cherished quote or saying that encompasses that at all? That's a weird question.
I live with anything is possible and expect miracles. That comes from one of my coaches, but a little bit more, a little bit more. I don't know, that encompasses caring about people. We're all unique. I don't know. I don't have one saying.
In my deep dive in your like that you have tons of videos and things, and I saw that you do a lot of team building and you care about the employees and what they're doing great. You have courses for them, you have like you want everyone to succeed. And I love that. It's not just about like just making the most money or whatever. It's about the community. It's about what you're actually building. And all of those people matter. The customers matter, the employees matter, and you hit that so well. And so any business would benefit from working with you. You've nailed it. And I just want to make sure that people get that you're like you think of everything and you're incredibly organized. I love it.
Thanks again to you. But in saying that, one of my passions that I have is that these young people that come and work for us, they come with no experience most of the time. And I spend a lot of time with business owners who sometimes think that the fault sometimes is with the employee. And I always say, what have you done? What have you trained them? What have you done? It's about the person. It's not about the employee or the employers. The employees will have a gripe about the employer. The employer will have a gripe about the employee. And it's not. We're who we are. So I always say when there's an initial problem, I'll say, have we given them the tools? First of all, have we taught them what they need to know to be a good salesperson? So if we have, and they're not getting it, then maybe they're not built for a salesperson. So let's help them find what they are built for. But generally, you'll find that when you put the time and invest the time into them, then they're more motivated and they do more for your business. I try to reach the employees too, which is what I'm doing now. I train my clients' staff and let them know that the employers have got their life on the line. That's probably where I like to connect the most, to say that at times when you think they're being a little bit tough, it's because they've invested their family, their livelihood is on the line. When they're asking you to turn up in the correct dress code, or when they're asking you to do something, to do a job, like, respect that and be grateful that you've got a job. So I do it both ways. I've been both.
Yeah.
And they're both about the person, not about the title. That's what we have to remember. But you always have to look at if there's a problem. If your team's not great, it usually means you're not doing a great job.
Leadership. It's all about leadership. Yeah.
It's all about leadership. Yeah. Sometimes you can give it all and do it all, and they're just not going to get it.
Yeah.
It's just not where they're supposed to be.
We've all been there. I've been somewhere I wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
it's about being authentic to who you are. So I like to look at the full picture of the business. Not just from one angle.
All right, we're gonna switch gears again.
Okay.
We're gonna play a game. It's this or that.
Okay.
Done. Are you ready? All right.
Let's do it.
Takeout or dine out?
Dine out.
Trivia night or board game night?
Board game.
Ninjas or pirates?
Pirates.
Tacos or burritos?
Tacos.
Scary movies or comedy movies?
I don't watch scary comedy. That's easy.
Bar of soap or shower gel?
Shower gel.
Foresee the future or change the past?
Foresee the future.
Do laundry or do the dishes?
Oh, I have to do both. What do I prefer the most? Probably dishes.
Okay. Shooting stars or lightning?
Shooting stars.
Would you be a world-class spy or a supermodel?
Oh, I'd love to be beautiful to be a supermodel, but I've probably got more chance of being a spy.
First of all, you're beautiful. You're stunning. So don't even. You're stunning. That's the first thing I noticed, is that you're stunning.
Oh, dear. So many compliments from you.
All right, let's
So
go into a
kind.
little interview, lighthearted interview stuff. So,
Okay.
where are you located? How can people reach you? Business details.
Okay, so I'm located in Adelaide, South Australia. I have a website, MarieTemby.com. I have an email, marie@marietemby.com. I'm on LinkedIn, just under my name. I'm on Facebook under my name, and I'm also under there as Simple, Soulful, Successful under my brand name. So people can contact me however they like.
Awesome.
I'm open for connection.
I'll have those all in the description and in the show notes as well, with all your links. Let's go ahead and give me your top 3 tips for entrepreneurs just starting out.
Go with their first instinct. Go with your first gut instinct, I would say. Take care of you. So do your daily rituals, and a little bit more. I've said all of them during the time, but they're probably the 3 that I would say. So love yourself. I think I just went 4.
Tell me about your freebie.
Okay. One of the things that I'm doing is each month I'm bringing out a new business strategy that will help any small business owner, preferably bakery or cafe, but will help anybody that's got a bricks and mortar. And the first one that I've done is the wow factor. So that's my freebie. It is just a free assessment that you can print out. And I've got a podcast where I talk about the wow factor, but you can print out the template and you can go into your business and go through and assess your own store. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. So you said you have a podcast and it goes with that too. So tell me your podcast name and where to hear you.
So my podcast name is Bakery Coaching Hidden Gems. So everything that I'm bringing from there is coming out of this treasure chest and different strategies. The first one is the wow factor, and you can find it on Pocket Casts and Spotify. Yeah.
Awesome. I just want to thank you so much for sitting with me and chatting with me and pouring your heart out to me. Like, You're an amazing person, and thank you for sharing you with me. I feel so blessed to have sat here with you.
Thank you for actually having me and making this easy. I know I feel like I scattered all over the place, but I felt very connected and very like very accepted and wanted. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Definitely. So, closing, 2 questions. Tell me what legacy means to you and how it plays a part in your life.
That's a really good question because legacy to me means I probably could get a little bit emotional, but it's what I'll be remembered for. That's what I think about legacy. What what have I given my children to human beings are they growing up to be? What are the people that I'm helping going to be? Because when I leave, have I left a good mark on the world? Have I left something that's worth that I'll get to the end and think I've done a good job. I've done the best I can. Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
legacy.
Awesome. The next question was, how are you marking this time in your life? Like right now, how are you marking?
Funny that you should ask that because my son has also started a business, and this wasn't about plugging his business.
That's sure.
But he's started a business called Eternal, and part of that is keeping your memories alive. And so he's recorded my life story already. So he has that, which stays in a vault for our family for years to come. But just the other day, I recorded that 12 months ago with him. He's only just launched, but I recorded it. And I thought, I've changed in 12 months. There's difference. I'm ready. So I just said to him the other day, I want to do my story again. I've got more to share, more to say. Now, am I recording it? I'm fortunate that he does that. But I believe I need to learn more about yours because I think you also have a wonderful and legacy story that I need to know more about.
Oh, tune in to the podcast. You're on it. First of all, can I share his business? Can I share his links with yours too? Because that's
Yeah, sure.
I love that. And it's called Eternal.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Marie, for sitting with me and sharing yourself. Is there any parting words that you would like to share with the audience before I let you go?
Thank you, Tia, for having me. I think you've covered it all. You touched on places that I haven't even thought about myself in some times. And I really enjoyed our chat. I was starting the day thinking about shoes, and now I think I've changed it and I'm thinking about you So, and our connection. So, no, thank you again.
Thank you for listening to this episode on a topic as sensitive as suicide. We understand that these discussions can be difficult, but it's crucial to remember that help is available. If you or someone you know is contemplating suicide, please reach out to the following resources. 1. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Call 1-800-273-TALK. That is 1-800-273-8255 for immediate assistance. This helpline provides free and confidential support 24/7, offering guidance and connecting you with local resources. Number 2, Crisis Text Line. Text HELLO, HELLO, to 741741 to chat with a trained crisis counselor. The service is available 24/7 and provides support via text message for those in crisis. Number 3, the International Suicide Hotlines. If you're outside the United States, visit suicide.org/international suicidehotlines.html to find helplines specific to your country. I will have those links in the show notes and down below in the comments. Remember, you are not alone, and there are people who care and want to help. Reach out to these resources, talk to a trusted friend, or family member, or seek professional help. Together we can support one another and work towards a brighter future. Miscarriage is a deeply personal and often painful experience that affects many individuals and families. If you or someone you know has experienced a miscarriage, is in need of support, please consider reaching out to the following resources. 1. Miscarriage Association. Visit miscarriageassociation.org.uk or call their helpline at 01924200799 UK for information, support, and resources related to miscarriage, ectopic pregnancy, and molar pregnancy. Number 2. American Pregnancy Association. Visit americanpregnancy.org/pregnancy, loss, miscarriage support. Links will be below for a comprehensive guide on coping with miscarriage, including emotional support, physical recovery, and future pregnancy planning. And number 3, Resolve, the National Infertility Association. Visit resolve.org or call the helpline at 866-NOT-ALONE. That's 866-668-2566 for support and resources related to infertility, pregnancy, loss, and reproductive health. Remember, it's important to seek support and allow yourself time to grieve. Reach out to these resources, talk to a healthcare professional, or connect with support groups to find comfort and understanding during this difficult time. You just listened to a raw story and interview with MarieTemby, the visionary behind Simple, Soulful, Successful, a transformative approach to overcoming overwhelm and achieving success with ease. With her expertise in coaching, brick-and-mortar bakeries, and cafes, Marie has become a trusted guide for entrepreneurs in the food industry who are seeking a more balanced and fulfilling path to success. In her highly acclaimed book, also titled Simple, Soulful, Successful, Marie shares her profound insights and practical strategies for navigating the challenges of running a business while maintaining a sense of harmony and well-being. Through her unique blend of soulful wisdom and practical business acumen, Marie empowers her readers to break free from the gripes of overwhelm and create a thriving business and a fulfilling life. But Marie's impact doesn't stop at her book. She offers personalized coaching and mentorship programs to help bakery and cafe owners uplevel their businesses and find their own vision of simple, soulful success. By working with Marie, you'll gain the tools, support, and guidance needed to overcome overwhelm, streamline operations, and create a business that aligns with your values and aspirations. Ready to embark on a transformative journey towards a more soulful and successful life? Visit MarieTemby's website today to access freebies, valuable tips, and learn more about how you can work with her to unlock your full potential. Don't let overwhelm hold you back any longer. Embrace the simplicity and soulfulness of success with MarieTemby and Simple, Soulful, Successful. Thank you for listening to this episode on the topic as sensitive as suicide and miscarriage.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Empowering Time Markers. We hope you found inspiration, gained valuable insights, and connected with our incredible guest. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us continue to bring you empowering content. And remember, the journey doesn't end here. Stay connected with us on social media, where we'll be sharing additional resources, behind-the-scenes content, and updates on upcoming episodes. Thank you for joining us on this empowering journey. Together, let's continue to make our mark on the world one moment at a time. Until then, keep empowering yourself and others. This is Tia Bottom, signing off from Empowering Time Markers.